Hi, welcome to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. I'm your host, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Bobby White Foundation. Now, this is going to be interesting. Okay, we'll do our sponsors. So, again, thank John with Area 52 Media Group for supporting us, bringing this show to you so we can bring the information to you. And we wouldn't be able to do this without him. And Josephine behind the scenes, my tech guy, really appreciate him. And of course, one of our sponsors, Delynn Gaston with the mortgage firm, Everything Mortgages. I think this past week they're having a realtor mortgage trade show here in town. So anything mortgages, she's your gal. So I'm looking because I've had issues with my lights falling today. So I'm hoping we can get through the show with no lights falling. But if they fall, you'll know it. Anyways, so towards the middle of the month, so we've got the schedule for next month's support groups. And the Spring Hill group will meet on May 14th at the NAMI office. And the West Pasco Newport Ritchie group is going to be meeting on Thursday the 15th. So both groups are the same week in May. Our main facilitator in Spring Hill, she'll be facilitating that group on her own next month, and my co-facilitator, Teresa Daniels, will be facilitating the West Pasco group because I'm going to be on a cruise during that week. I'm looking forward to it. So then we'll get back on schedule, and we're still working on getting set up our 12-week course, which we talked to the Spring Hill group. We're be talking to the West Pasco group. We may end up condensing the 12-week class into a 6-week class. So we're still working on the details for that. And as soon as we have that worked out, I'll get everybody updated on that. So, and also, like I said, we started planning for Art for Hope this year. And it's September 11th this year, again at the Hilton Garden Inn. That's at the Suncoast and 54. So it's central to Tampa Bay, very easy to get to from Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, Pasco, Hernando. So get this on your calendar. We, like I mentioned, we're going to mix it up a little bit this year, and we're going to bring in different types of art, not just paper art, but like this one. I always do that. Wrong one. This one. That canvas painting, Hope, is going to be raffled off as a door prize. So that's something new and exciting. It's a really cool piece. So then I started doing some testing on some different types of art that we're going to be bringing in. And so I've wanted to do this for a long time. And so we're starting small, and it's glass fusing. So the other day I made some pendants that I glass fused. And so we're going to be making more of these. I actually gave one away at a raffle, and I'm going to give one away at a fundraiser tonight. Now, you see the one that's broken there? That's not a bad thing, because I'll show this to you next week. I had mentioned, and I don't know if I think I'd shown some pieces, I don't know, a few months ago. There's, it's an art called, I can't remember the name of it, Kinzuki. It's a Japanese, I think it's Japanese, or it might be Chinese. I think it's Japanese form of art where you take broken pieces and you put them back together with glue and gold leaf or gold stuff. And so that's what I'm going to do with that piece. So no piece will be wasted. So that's just like another form of art. And then I also I got some molds and I'm going to start casting little planters and little things to put candles in. Some really cool stuff coming up. So as we move along and get closer to Art for Hope, I'll be showing some more things that will be available. Maybe not exactly what you see, but something similar, because if we sell them good, I hope. So, and I'll be bringing those to our, we have a, it is our volunteer meeting. I think it's on the 24th, I believe. Wait a second. April 28th. And so if you're in the area and you want to volunteer for Art for Hope in the foundation, you can come to the volunteer meeting. We're going to have it at the Hilton Garden Inn. We are moving it out there instead of here in town. So you're just welcome to come and show up and help us out. So, and with that, last week was really hard. It was the anniversary of Bobby's suicide, and a couple days later, I found out a dear friend of mine lost her battle with brain cancer on April 10th. So it's May this past week and last week. It's like sometimes when you're grieving or you're mourning and you're still going through the process, it just gets layered upon and layered upon. And also it was the other day, the anniversary of Tristan Daniels' suicide. Teresa, his mom, we've had on the show several times. And she's also my co-facilitator for our support group in West Pasco. So my friend Jackie, like I said, she lost her battle with brain cancer, and I met her right after Bobby died. That's an awesome picture of her. She lived life to the fullest up until, and she had been such a supporter of myself and the foundation and Art for Hope from the very get-go. She every year made baskets for our raffle. When I met her, networking, she had started a boutique to resell women's clothing and such. It was called Lovely Ladies Boutique. And she would always make up these awesome baskets and donate them to the foundation. And her and her husband Henry would attend every year. And she closed the store down, I think, it was at the beginning of COVID. And it was so sad for a lot of us, because I loved going there. I have this special purse that she actually gave to me when she was closing it down. Many years ago, Bobby started buying me Dooney and Burke purses. And if you're familiar with the brand, they're super expensive. Well, she had this one come into the store that it was Dooney and Burke, and it's really, I'll try and remember I'll get a picture of it and show it on the show next week. It's colorful. It's happy. I get compliments on the purse all the time. But anyway, so last September, her and I met up because I hadn't seen her much since she closed the store. She kind of basically retired and was spending a lot of time with her family, and I knew she had gotten sick and had been in the hospital. But she kept everything, pretty close and private. And but we met up last September before Art for Hope, and again, she brought me a beautiful basket for the fundraiser because it was just before the fundraiser, and we met at Applebee's, and we sat at Applebee's and just talked and visited for like 5 hours. Our waitress was so sweet and gracious, and no, it was so nice. And that's when I found out that her cancer had spread to her brain. And quite honestly, I really thought that she had longer. But then last Thursday, I saw that she lost her battle. So she's going to be just greatly missed. She was a little spitfire. I think I was even taller than her, and that's not saying much. So, but she was just a great person, and always there for you, and was there for support for everybody in the community. When she had her business, she always participated and in community stuff, and she's gonna be missed. So her husband Henry, and they have two kids, Nikki and Henry Jr. And we're taping this show on Tuesday the 15th. So when I get done with this show is her funeral, and so that's where I'm going to be heading after this. But just to remember her, and it's kind of weird how the universe works. We've been going through these touchstones from our book, The Wilderness of Suicide Grief. And you can get that book at the Center for Loss and Life Transitions, along with other books by Dr. Wolfelt. There you go. There's the website. You go to the bookstore. Also check out his calendar, because he may be doing a seminar near you, and he does these free seminars on grief, and he's just really, really, really good. And I get the good fortune to go out there in October. I'm excited about to do some training with him. So we were on Touchstone 7, and the title of Touchstone 7 is Nurture Yourself. And a lot of us, me included particularly, sometimes we have a hard time doing that. I know I do, even though I know I should be doing it. I mean, intellectually I know that, but sometimes you just don't. And it's so important, because if you don't, all this stuff just, it consumes your not only your mind but your body, and it can come out, it can express itself with your body in so many different ways, and not so good. I remember I didn't have this issue with Bobby's death. I had so many more, but I remember back years ago when my first husband Michael was tragically killed by a careless driver, and it was so weird. It was just a few weeks later, and my face, and I never had any issues with my face or my skin, but my face just broke out in these like quarter size open sores. It was weird, and it was because of the stress, and it was my body letting me know that this is wrong and this is hard, and you gotta figure it out. And it wanted out, and that's how it reflected on me at that time. So Touchstone 7, and the quote at the beginning of this is, getting better means being patient with oneself when progress is slow. It means finding safe, supportive persons with whom to share the pain. Janice Harris Lord. And that is so true. And some people are going to be more nurturing towards you than others. I know that for me, my neighbor and my aunt and my cousin were much more so than my mother. And thank God for them. Like I said, my neighbor, we talk every single day, at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. And during the times that I know and she knows it's going to be really bad or harder for me, like the anniversary week, last week, and she calls and checks on me every day, and first thing she says, wellness check. And and I have other friends that are like that. We had a networking luncheon today, and a couple of my friends were there, and one of them also knew Jackie. And so I asked, well, how are you doing today? You doing better today than, I don't even remember whatever day it was. And I was flat. I said, no, I'm not. This is a bad day. And she's like, well, good. Tell it like it is. And I'm like, I am. This is, I said, it really sucks. I had, and the networking luncheon was nice. It was nice to get out and be among other women. It was a happy luncheon. And so that was good. And then it was like, well, then I got to go home and tape the show, and then I have to go to then I've got Jackie's funeral. And so we were walking out, and one of my friends, Barb, she's like, well, at least tonight, we'll have fun tonight. We're doing a fundraiser for Giddy Up Ranch with Rooters tonight. So I'll be out with people and, doing good in the community. And so that'll be fun. So you just like with everything else, you take the good with the bad, the happy with the sad. And it's just kind of one of those days that it rolls from one to the other, starts early and keeps going. But that's not bad. So anyway, with this Touchstone 7, nurturing yourself, like I said, if you don't, all this sadness and pain and hurt, it messes not only with your mind but with you physically. So he says, this is what Dr. Wolfelt says, that the grief that comes with a suicide death invites you to embrace each precious moment of life and to care deeply for your family and friends. Suicide grief invites you to find hidden treasures everywhere. A child's toothless smile, a beautiful sunrise, the smell of fresh flowers, a friend's gentle touch. In caring for yourself and tending to your special needs right this moment, you will go on to discover the capacity to live your life with purpose and meaning every moment of every day. Now that sounds really hard, because I don't even think I'm there yet. Partially, a little bit, but not there all the time. So he has these 5 different realms, he calls it, that for nurturing yourself. So they're all of these areas are important. So they are physically, emotionally, cognitively, socially, and spiritually. So your physical realm, your body will let you know when you're stressed. Just like when I got those sores on my face. You might be tireder than usual, or you might, you get up and within a couple hours you're tired again. That's a really big one, because you're so exhausted mentally and physically, and your body tells you when it needs to rest. You might have trouble going to sleep at night. Sleep has been one of my biggest issues since Bobby. It I have a hard time going to sleep at night. I don't sleep as well or as long as I did before. Of course, my cats aren't of much help when they wake me up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and want to eat. But cats that I had before, they were used to that because Bobby and I'd get up at 6 o'clock and get him off to work. But okay, well, I have one cat that is alive when Bobby was alive, but he was such a baby when Bobby died that I don't even think he remembers. But my other cat, Jack, before he died, I was like, come on, dude, we don't have to get up this early in the morning anymore. Didn't matter to him. He, by 6 o'clock, if not before, he was up. But I can wake up at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and just be wide awake and have a hard time going back to sleep. And I never used to do that. I could sleep 10, 12 hours very easily, just like I did when I was a teenager. But not no more. You might have low energy. You might be sensitive to noise, have heart palpitations. I've had those. It's scary. Almost like panic attacks. Especially, I don't have them so much anymore, but in the beginning, like the second or third year, because your life has changed. Your sense of being taken care of, being safe, has totally changed because that safe person is no longer here. If you have allergies, they may exacerbate. Yeah, there's just nausea. I mean, there's just so much that stress can manifest itself in physical things. See, there goes my lights. I knew I was having problems with them. That one went at charge. So the other one is still standing, but it looks like it's going to fall. Now that I look at it. Okay. Oh, that's okay. So, cognitive realm. Just as your body and emotions let you know you have experienced being torn apart, your mind has also, in effect, been torn apart. Thinking normally, brain fog. Oh, man. I had brain fog so bad. Oh, you know what? Hold on. You stay right there. I'm just going to do this real quick. It probably won't work, but it might. There. See if that's better. Okay. So, brain fog. I really didn't know that was a real thing until it happened to me. And it still happens. It does. You thinking that you're thinking normally, you may feel like you're going crazy. We talked about that last week or 2 weeks ago. Your social realm. The suicide death of someone you love has resulted in a very disconnection from the world around you. The main thing is you need to stay connected with your family, your friends, and your community. I was super, super fortunate because I was such a big part of the community prior to, because of being in business here. Spiritual realm. Each person's spiritual journey is unique and sustained by your individual beliefs and values. You need to nurture your spirit. Some people, the religious and spiritual lives intertwine. Some are separate or lean more on one side or the other. Everybody's going to, just like mourning, your spiritual self, taking care of yourself is going to be different for everybody. And there's no wrong. There's no wrong. Even in your grief, you can find hope. That's what we have. Oops. That's what we have there. Hope. You can. I mean, that's why we named the show this. You have to have hope. Spirituality reminds you that you can and will integrate losses into your life. That is where the goodness in others, and that there are many pathways to heaven. So, you will find yourself discovering the essentials within your soul and spirit and of the world around you. That gives you hope. So, again, we're going to end the show just a little bit differently here. We still have our quote. So, our quote for this show is, your angels guide, protect, and love you through every dark moment and help you to find the light again. That I believe. And I hope you do too. So be sure to keep these numbers in your phone, memorize them, have them available. The National Lifelines, text or call 9888. Veterans, press 1. You can text 741-741. If you're a youth, text Jason to 741-741. And first responders, text badges to 741-741. So I'm dedicating this show to my dear friend, Jacquie Shupe. She is a warrior, and she's going to be greatly missed. Keep her husband and her family in your prayers. It's a tremendous loss for them, but she will be remembered as a warrior. So I'm going to close and be quiet just a little bit for the end of the show, remembering my dear friend, Jacquie. But remember, there is always hope. Thank you.